Hey, this is Stevie Rochelle from Tough and Metal Sludge, your favorite website. You are locked and loaded on the Music Mania podcast.
You ready for some screaming heavy metal? We rock!
But the evil that men do lives on.
We gonna bang your head!
You are now listening to the Music Mania podcast, brought to you by CD Warehouse in Gladstone, the #1 hard rock podcast in the Midwest, featuring hard-hitting interviews with rock's living legends. And now, here's your host, Clint Switzer.
Well, I am back in Missouri from Southern California, and I'll tell you what, the weather is getting better. Guys, live music is just around the corner. The summer tours are getting announced. It's time to get outside, enjoy some cold drinks with your friends, enjoy some live music. That's what it's all about. And here on the Music Mania podcast, the fun is just beginning. In fact, on this very show, we're going to be talking with Rob Zombie guitarist John 5. He is out there touring solo right now with John 5 and the Creatures. Of course, if you haven't checked out the new video for I Am John 5, it is a thrill ride indeed. The animation's insane. Really cool song. John 5 has really established himself as one of the great guitarists in all of rock. He is so versatile, so many different styles, from chicken picking to shredding. John 5 is one of the best there is, and we're going to be talking to him for the second time on this show. Going to be talking to him about, well, things like his Knights in Satan's Service Kiss memorabilia Instagram. Where did that come from? How did it start? What are the plans for this next round of Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson, the tour, the Twins of Evil Part 2, coming to an amphitheater near you this summer. We're going to be talking to him about that and all the goings-on. John 5 is someone that has really solidified himself and is really standing out, someone that I've known about for years, but the casual fan that only went to see, Marilyn Manson or Rob Zombie. Of course, he was in Marilyn Manson until about 2003, I believe, but he's been with Rob Zombie for over a decade now. And he's really starting to stand out. I mean, you go see a Rob Zombie show, and John is a very visual player and someone that he attracts attention, and you go see a zombie show, like I said, it is full on. His presentation is becoming more involved. I mean, you saw him in this last tour. When the show opened, he came out almost like playing robotically with a porcelain doll mask. It was really cool. And John's just a great dude. He's on tour right now. So be sure to go over to john5.com to check out all the tour dates for John 5 and the Creatures. And his new album, Invasion, will be available this summer. Going to be talking to him about that and much more. So much going on. Like I said, just back from Southern California. I was on a trip, went down, and just happened to be on the Sunset Strip hanging out with my buddy DJ Will over at the Rainbow. And Motley Crue crashes the Whiskey A Go-Go. Yes, the after party for the Dirt movie premiere took place, and I was able to go over there. Didn't get inside. I mean, it's the creme de la creme. We're talking about Nicolas Cage, Rob Zombie, actually, and some celebrities like that got to go inside for the party. But a lot of people hanging out outside. It was really cool to see people clamoring outside for Motley Crue. They had a lot of security out there, trying to keep people's excitement at bay. But people really wanted to check out what was going on. The marquee said Motley Crue tonight only, and it got people going. They posted that on Instagram, and it was like, wow, what's going to go on here? Of course, Motley Crue did not play, but they trickled in and enjoyed the after party, so it was really cool to be there. And actually caught up with a good buddy of ours, Jesse Camp, was outside and milling around, talking with fans, and we were able to catch up with him for a future interview, so look for that. So we're going to be talking to him about where he's been. He turned up missing at one point on a drug bender. What's going on with Jesse Camp? We're going to talk to him on a future show, but this one's all about John 5, guys. We're going to be, speaking with him. So excited about this Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson tour. I caught it last summer in St. Louis. It's going to be around here in Kansas City, July 17th, out at Providence Medical Center Amphitheater, and it's a great show. I thought Rob Zombie had the better presentation, better overall show last summer. We'll see what this summer brings. Can't wait to get out there and catch it again. And before we get to our interview with John 5, got to talk to you about our sponsor, CD Warehouse in Gladstone, Missouri. Guys, for over 22 years, a staple of the Northland. They buy, sell, and trade CDs, DVDs, vinyl, and more. Do not let the vibe of the old school record store go by the wayside. Give them a visit today off Antioch Road in Gladstone. Tell them that Music Mania sent you, or there will be a discount, or it's on us. Hey, John, it's Clint Switzer from Music Mania. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing just tremendous. Thanks so much for joining us. I know you're out on the road and in between shows, and my geography's correct, which it's not often. You're heading towards Jersey tonight for a show, man. How's everything been going? How's this tour been for you, man?
It's been very successful. It's been a blast. You know, it's shocking, like that people love this instrumental thing so much. You know, I'm so happy about it, and the show's been just selling out, and it's just really been like a perfect tour so far.
Not only that, you've had some guests drop in. I saw a couple weeks ago you had Alice Cooper come do Foxy Lady with you up on stage, and I know your show coming up here in Hollywood on April 6th. You've got some big guests coming up, including Michael Anthony and Chavo from System of a Down and Corey Taylor. Man, this is just really cool having these guys drop in like this. What's that been like, and how cool was it? Of course, you already had the Alice Cooper situation. That was what a cool video that was. Great rendition of Foxy Lady. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, it's a blast, you know. Touring and recording with all these guys throughout the years and being friends, you know, and it's just fun to go, hey, I'm in town, are you in town, you want to get up and play? And, you know, everybody loves to get up and play, and, you know, it's a blast, you know, so it's good just to get together with friends and hang out, but it is special to, you know, have these big artists in these smaller venues, and it's just like the people, it's just, you know, I'm grinning from ear to ear, and it's very special for the people as well to see these, you know, huge icons in these smaller venues. People have such a blast with it.
Well, your image in and of itself, I mean, you're becoming so recognizable, you know, from Rob Zombie's band. These tours are doing great, John 5 and the Creatures. I mean, people were talking about, you know, kind of last tour with Rob Zombie, like what's John 5 going to look like? What kind of costumes is he going to have? Like what's in it? You really, you know, have really solidified yourself as this as someone that's, you know, really, you know, recognizable, and that's, you know, like, you know, kind of goes along with the shows selling out on your own. That's awesome, and it's just kind of it's a crazy busy time for you. You got so much coming up. You got a new album coming out, Invasion, this summer, and just saw the video for I Am John 5. What an ambitious effort that was. That's a awesome video. Talk about that. The animation is insane. What a fun video that is.
Yeah, the animation is done by Brett Boggs, who is a animator for Disney, and, you know, he was doing Frozen, and he's working on Frozen 2 right now, and he did Wreck-It Ralph, and just this brilliant animator, and we put together this script, and I gave him the song, and he did the first one, Zoinks, and, you know, it was such a, you know, people just went crazy for it. We had, like, Susan Olsen from the Brady Bunch, who was Cindy Brady. She was part of it. We had Fred Corey, who did the score, and Fred, you know, was a drummer for Cinderella, and we had Six as my, you know, my nemesis. He was the bad guy. And then we did the second part, I Am John 5, and, you know, Butch Patrick, who is Eddie Munster, is, you know, the mad scientist. Yeah, it's, and then the video, the I Am John 5 video, we have Butch Patrick, who's Eddie Munster, and it's just such a wonderful video. I turn into a mechanical monster and take over Hollywood, and it's just doing really well, and people really enjoy these songs live because they see it on YouTube. And, you know, so it's been such a wonderful experience so far.
And, you know, talk about that, because you use YouTube maybe as well as any artist as far as getting your stuff out there. How important is that to you? Obviously, these videos are you know, there's high production value to these. How important is that, getting kind of these songs out there, especially before the album comes out? You use that YouTube as a tool. Same with Instagram. You're very active on there. How important is that to you to be able to use those tools?
Well, I mean, you have to change with the times, and the times are changing, as you know, as it was said decades ago. But YouTube is you know, what everybody watches videos and listens to music on is YouTube, and social media is such your own TV channel, if you will, and people don't really watch TV anymore. I mean, it's rare. It's rare to watch regular TV because I was in a hotel room and I would turn on the TV and I was like, oh yeah, commercials. I totally forgot about commercials. And now there's so many commercials. I think the commercials, if you add it up, are as long as the show. It's very strange how it is now. But, well, yeah, with YouTube, it's wonderful. And social media, it's like, you know, I love it because I use it every day just like every other human on the planet.
Absolutely, and it's a great tool for many artists. But you know, you're on this tour, and you're going to go through April on this thing, and you're not gonna have a lot of free time on your hands this summer because you got heading back out with Rob Zombie to do a bunch of shows and festivals overseas this summer, and then you come back in July, I believe, to start the Twins of Evil Part 2 tour. John, what a massive success that tour was last year. I was at the St. Louis show, and I was just baffled. The attendance numbers were unbelievable for those shows. Is it as simple as that? Is it like, hey, this did well last year, let's do it again? I know you're hitting a lot of markets that you didn't get last year. Kind of talk about the antithesis for this tour going back to Part 2 here. It's really Part 3, I guess. It's a trilogy now.
Yeah, I guess it is Part 3. I believe that anybody that has a zombie record has a Manson record. And vice versa, you know. Everybody really has a great time. The bands have a great time. The crew has a great time. And most important, the fans have a wonderful time. And I think it's one of those perfect summer tours. It's one of those perfect billings. And if I wasn't in the band, I would go see it. I really would. Because I love Zombie. I love Manson. And you know, if I wasn't a part of it, I'd probably go see it, that's for sure. So it's a wonderful package, and we're all looking very, very forward to it.
Well, the zombie show last year was just spectacular, and I thought, you know, won the day. It's not that there's competition involved, but I thought Zombie, your guys' show was unbelievable. I thought your presentation was as good as it's ever been. Like I said, you becoming more of a kind of a forefronting member of the band. It's great. And you guys are also, I mean, Rob's got a new album coming out. That's going to be coming out in 2019. I guess my question to you is, how do you balance your time? I mean, this is just unbelievable. You've got an album coming out. You're touring. You've got a big tour coming up. You've got an album with Rob. How do you manage this, John? It's unbelievable.
It's you know, I have to plan it out very, very carefully. I have a schedule that I have to keep to, and or writing or interviews, playing shows. It is a very, very tight schedule, and I love it. You know, today I woke up and I did a bunch of interviews, and I'm doing your interviews, and then I'm going to a radio station, into a music school to do a school of thought thing. I do a meet and greet, a soundtrack, a show, and I do it all over.
Oh, absolutely. The fun never ends, John. I'm so appreciative of you coming on with us today. So many great things coming up here. I'll tell you, before we let you go, you know, you got Nikki Sixx, you know, kind of involved in this video with you, and I know that you're a Kiss fan. I just stumbled upon your Knights in Satan's Service Instagram. How did that all come about? I'm like obsessed with this now, and I'm spending all my time looking at those unbelievable items. How did you get involved with the Knights in Satan's Service Instagram?
Well, you know, that's what made me, you know, to start everything was Kiss, and just like a lot of musicians my age, they started Kiss, and I was a collector as a kid, and I had the, you know, all the fun stuff that kids had back in the 70s, the trash can, the lunchbox, and the towels, and the puzzles, and the notebooks, and all that stuff. So, over time, I've saved a lot, and I've collected a lot over my life. And I just thought what a fun thing to do is to start a Knights in Satan's Service, which that's what they thought KISS stood for, and to give more, not just like, hey, look at my collection, but give a history and to talk about merchandise and what was out there and what was around. And maybe there's 3 different lunch boxes. You only knew about one. And it's a lot of fun for people to go through these, like a time machine. Go, oh, I had this, or I had that, I had this, and I remember this, and it's a lot of fun for people. So it's been growing like crazy, and every day I grow something. Every single day, I don't miss it. So it's wonderful.
Oh, it's incredible. There's so many things in there that I've just almost tried to contact the owners of to try to make an offer, because there's so many things in there that are just blew me away, and so cool to be able to communicate that way. And I just actually saw the Kiss Fair End of the Road tour here in Kansas City, an amazing show. Hopefully you get a chance to see that at some point, John. You got to see it. But I know your buddy Nicky said that Kiss might have taken some of the stage show from Motley Crue's Farewell Tour, and I'm like, Nicky, I love you, man, but Kiss was doing those kind of stage shows in the 70s. I mean, what do you think about that?
I have no idea. I wasn't in Motley Crue and not in Kiss, so I have no idea.
Right on, John. Well, I tell you what, it is such a pleasure. We can't thank you enough for joining us again. Have a great show tonight. We will catch you in Hollywood on April 6th. Man, thanks so much for your time, and we will catch up soon, my man.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
You bet. Thanks, John. Thanks a lot to John 5 joining us on the road from his tour bus. He was on the East Coast. He's got some West Coast dates, Hollywood coming up with some guest stars. Talked about the guest stars on the album. Going to be insane. I mean, I think that some of his playing, some of his solo albums are just, it really got me into that kind of shred style guitar playing. Of course, he does so many different things. He does medleys of pop songs and does a great version of Beat It that you could check out. And he's just all-around versatile player and all-around good dude. So good to catch back up with our guy, John 5, here on the Music Mania Podcast. It's only just beginning, guys. Next week, we're going to be joined by Michael Wilton from Queensryche. So much coming up, so many interviews, so much excitement. This is when it starts, really perking up for me, because the weather's getting better. It's time to start making my plans for summer tours and shows and going to do these reviews and interviews. You can always catch us on the website, musicmaniapodcast.com. All of our shows are archived there, including all of my reviews. Every show that I go to, I typically do a review of. So you want to go check out some of my show reviews. They are definitely there. Got my Kiss review up from late February in Kansas City. That was an insane show. Gonna have to catch that again down the road, no question about it. But I'll tell you what, you guys, always do us a favor by hitting the subscribe button on iTunes, Google Play, or Spotify. If you have a smartphone, you have this show. There's no excuse. You should be checking out the Music Mania Podcast, sharing it with your friends that are into this kind of music. If you're into, hard rock from the 70s and 80s and early 90s, this is the show for you. And we go beyond that as well. We've had artists like Tommy James on here. We kind of span the gamut. We've had Lisa Loeb on here, one of my favorite artists. I love Lisa Loeb. She's been on. So, it's not one-dimensional, but we do have a focus in that 80s rock era. I mean, if you look at the logo, the Music Mania logo, it's basically in the Iron Maiden font. It's, kind of a rip-off of Iron Maiden. That's what we do. We're going to be seeing them in Vegas coming up. So, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. We'll catch you next week with Michael Wilton from Queensryche.